All right, midterm stays. That means 30+ day stays that's the buzzword of this year. As vacation rentals start to get more laws in place and a little bit more restrictive, a lot of people are switching to midterm stays. So you've secured your property, you've built out your unit, it's furnished, it looks beautiful. How the heck do you get a tenant inside there? This episode is sponsored by Furnish Finder, but more on them later. So about 2 weeks ago, we had our second tenant move into our midterm rental in Columbus. Again, here's why I love that, is because AirDNA was projecting if we only did it on your traditional vacation rental basis, we'd be getting about $1,700 a month. However, with a midterm stay, we are getting $2,250 per month. That means less turnovers, less cleans, but how do we even get them in there? What's the process like? Is it way too complicated? I'll break down exactly how you can do it through Furnish Finder. The first step is take professional pictures. Whether you're posting your listing on Furnish Finder or any other booking platform, your goal is to be the best. And I'm sorry, but I don't care if you have an iPhone Pro Max and whatever you got, unless you're a professional photographer, you are not gonna take as good of pictures as professional photography. And if the photos are the first thing somebody sees, just pay a few $100s to get them done. I promise you, it'll look way better. Let me show you examples of pictures that I took on my phone and ones that I've taken as a professional photographer. There's a clear difference between the phone picture and actually hiring someone who knows what to do. So if you don't know how to shoot for multiple exposures and bracket your exposures, don't take the picture. Hire somebody. The next step is to figure out your house rules. Go look at other listings and see what they allow. How many guests do they allow per bedroom? What is their parking situation? Not only does that help you with a competitive analysis, but that also lets you think about how you want to protect your own property. Do you allow overnight guests? Do you allow pets? Things like that. And then after you get from the nitty-gritty, of course, it's pricing. So how much can you charge? The first video in this series shows you how you can figure out how much you can charge for your midterm rental, so make sure to click that down below and watch that one next. But in addition to how much you can charge, are you gonna have a refundable or non-refundable security deposit? And how much? You can do anywhere from, zero, half month's rent to full month's rent. We do half, and that's just based off the market area. The next thing is, are you gonna charge a pet fee? Is that pet fee refundable or non-refundable? For example, if you booked a night at a hotel, a lot of times they'll ask for a $75 non-refundable pet fee just because they clean it more thoroughly. For our house, for anywhere between 30 to 90 day stays, we ask for a $200 non-refundable pet fee. And that's just to have that deep clean after the pet leaves. Are utilities included, or do you charge extra for that? And if so, what utilities? Is it water, electricity, sewer, trash, internet, all that good stuff? Have that laid out. We find that just having one flat rate for all of that just makes it easier in communicating with the tenants. The last thing is an application fee. Are you charging for a background check? And what system are you gonna use? Most of the time, most applicants are comfortable and already used to paying an application fee through some type of background check system. So we ask that each adult pays a $30 application fee. Furnish Finder has one built in. You can also use apartments.com, just depending on whatever you're using. Okay, let's jump on the computer and let me actually just show you the back end of how you can set up your listing, communications, all the good stuff in order to get your listing up and running. Let me just show you a quick tour of Furnish Finder. So when you log into your dashboard, you have leads, and leads are tenants fit the criteria of your property. So in any case, you can contact both matched and unmatched leads. And unmatched leads mean that maybe one of the variables are off. So your budget could be too high, or you don't have enough parking. But in either sense, you can contact them and see if there's some negotiation there for them to stay at your property. Tenant messages are for those who have directly reached out to you. And then of course, his ability to do online payments. Once they are formally your tenant and you guys are now renting to them, you go ahead and you can track them through here. You can update your property calendar here as well. So in addition to communicating with the guests and as well as listing your property, Furnish Finder has also partnered with KeyCheck. If you want to do background checks, collect rent, lease agreements, all of that can be done directly on their platform. And so you just have to go to the online rent payment. You'll make a KeyCheck account, which is, again, it's a partnership that Furnish Finder has with KeyCheck. And you'll create an account there. This is where you can enter in your property and start your tenant screening process through here. One thing to keep in mind is that it is free for the owner, but is not free for the tenant. So every single time when I explain to my tenants that there's a $30 application fee per adult, make sure that's known. And then if you want to collect any payments, whether it be rent payments, security deposits, pets fees, etc., you can just create all of that through this platform here. And then the best part is, if you need help with creating leases, they've also partnered with Law Depot to where you can go ahead and craft leases depending on what market that you're in. There is an additional fee for this, but I find it helpful just to make sure that I'm all aligned. It's like $25. It's nominal. And that's basically one contrast between Furnish Finder and some of the other booking platforms like Airbnb, VRBO, is that you do have more control, but there is also more steps to initially get started. But once you get started, like I said, the control is good. You also have the ability to set up the lease agreements as you want. And you're also not at the whim of Airbnb and VRBO. Because lately, you know that Airbnb has been making some significant changes, and a lot of them aren't all good. So once you go through that initial screening with them, they do the application and you want to move forward, what the heck do you do next? Well, now is where you start to communicate. So once your listing is live and good to go, tenants will start to contact you. What the heck do you do? Once they reach out to you, my quick response is first to answer any immediate questions that they have. So if they have any questions about the property, I just answer those first. And the second thing that I ask for is, hey, can we schedule some time the next couple days just to answer any additional questions you may have and for myself to get a chance to know you a little bit more. And so we schedule that, and then that's when we go into the phone call. But don't be afraid, because at the end of the day, it's a two-way street. It's like a job interview. They're trying to see if your property is safe and if you can handle any requests that they may want. On your side, you're also looking to see, are they a legitimate person? Are they a nice person? And how much can you get out of that quick phone call? And these are roughly about anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes long. Nothing too crazy, but let's just do a quick sample phone call. So real quick, a big thank you to our sponsor of this episode, Furnish Finder. Furnish Finder is the absolute go-to place if you're looking to host travel medical professionals or corporate travelers. Here are the few things that I love about Furnish Finder. One, it's $99 to sign up, and that's it. They don't take a percentage of every single booking like the other platforms do. Two, because you're doing midterm stays, way less headache, less turnovers. They're staying for at least 30 days, sometimes up to 6 months, which means that you're not booking cleanings, restocking the toilet paper, and most of all, dealing with partiers, because these are working, traveling professionals. Click the link down below and see how you can start hosting in your city today. Nobody's really on the line, by the way, but I'm just doing this for the video. Hey, well, thanks so much for taking the time to connect today. Yeah, the property is in XYZ Main Street. Can I ask what brings you to the area and what do you do for work? Well, let me first tell you a little bit about the unit, and then if you have any additional questions, let me know. So like in our listing, it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. It is a side-by-side duplex. So there is a long-term tenant on one side, and then on the side that you'll be staying in, both bedrooms are upstairs with the common living spaces on the downstairs. And then there is a basement where there is your own dedicated washer and dryer for the unit. In terms of parking, there's plenty of street parking right in front of the unit. We don't have a driveway or a garage. And in terms of appliances, we have full appliances with the exception of a dishwasher. There is a dish drying rack that's above the sink, but I just want to make sure I properly set the expectations. So what are the questions you have about the unit? And then they go into the questions, yada, yada, yada. Okay, well that sounds great. I just want to ask a few different clarifying questions for you. Is there anyone else that's staying with you in the unit? And are you bringing any pets? I just want to again, go over pricing. So it's $22.50 per month, and that includes all utilities. We do ask for a refundable $1,100 security deposit, and so as long as everything is good at the end of your stay, that'll be refunded back to you. Since you are bringing pets, we do have a non-refundable $200 pet fee, just so that we can do a deep clean after. And the last thing is that if you did want to move forward with the unit, we do ask that all of our residents complete a application and a background check, and that's done online, and it's about $30 per person, per adult that's staying inside there. And once you pass and you're accepted and you want to move forward, we'll send all the leases, all the payment information, all online, and then we can go ahead and get you moved in. Do you have any other questions? The last portion is, so say they've passed the background check, they want to move forward with the unit, what do you do next? Okay, so here's what we do. There are several touch points for communications. We send them communications 4 days before check-in. You just confirm, yes, you have the place. You send them a confirmation for that. And then about a week before they move in, I send them their check-in instructions. So inside their check-in instructions, it has where the unit is, the address, how to access the unit, whether it be a key on a lockbox or in our case, and I highly recommend doing a smart lock. For our smart lock, we use the Schlage on code, and that's the best because on Schlage, you can assign codes, and you can also set expiration dates for those. So you can set access codes, so you can put in, Yeah, this is Sally. For their access code, I like to use the last 4 digits of their cell phone number. So it's 1234, and then you can even get notified every single time the code is used. This is especially helpful if you have a vendor like a cleaner or a contractor and you want to know, hey, are they going to your unit at a certain time? Or you can turn that off, because if they're accessing it for 3 months, that could get annoying to get a million different notifications that someone's going in and out. And then the best part is that you can schedule the check-in, or you can schedule their code. So from here you can set whatever date you want it to start on and whatever date and time you want it to end on. So in addition to that, in that welcome message, it'll have their code. It'll also have basic information about the amenities. So if there's any specific instructions on how to use the washer and dryer, or if there's a specific way to helpful tips for a smart TV, just things like that, just to make the experience better and easier, and also minimize any future communications that they may have for you. Because if all of a sudden you have 10 units and they're asking you, how the heck do you use a Roku TV? That can get tiring. So I like to give I would like to build a guidebook for all of our properties so that all the questions are there first. They access that wiki, and then from there, if they have any additional questions, that's when they reach out. It saved us a lot of just various guest hosting questions. It also includes things like parking, what to do about trash, just how to live in that house. The next thing is that, this is a hospitality business. So you can't just put the tenant in and expect them to just be perfect. You want to hopefully eliminate any problems before they even happen. And so by having just the right amount of communication, that allows you to get good reviews regardless of whatever platform you're on. And it hopefully gives them a positive experience that if they decide to stay in that unit for longer, or at their next travel rotation, you're more likely to have those return bookings. And the last thing we do is actually a few days after they check out, that's when we ask for feedback. Hey, do you have any feedback you'd like to share? Or if you had a great stay, please give us a positive review. And so whatever booking platform they were on, we ask them to then give us a review, and then we review them back also as a guest. If that seems like a lot, it's because it is. A hospitality business is a hospitality business, so you're gonna have to communicate a lot with your guests. The next pro tip I will give you, towards the end of their stay, you're looking for your next tenant. So you're communicating with your cleaners to make sure that as soon as they move out, they can turn the unit the next day or the day after as soon as possible. So that way you can already start interviewing and vetting the next person so that you minimize how much vacancy you have. Anyways, I hope you found that helpful. It is really scary and intimidating when you're launching that first unit. There's a lot of different steps, and that's why I encourage you to get on the platform now. Even before units build out, just start building the bare bones of your listings across all the different booking platforms. Get familiar with all the processes, so that way when your unit is built out, it's furnished, it's ready to launch, you are actually on the digital side, on the online side, also ready to launch. If you found this video helpful, definitely hit the like button, because that really helps me a lot. It takes a lot of effort to make these videos, and so that's a good thank you. And also don't forget to subscribe. Again, big thank you to FurnishedFinder for sponsoring this episode. If you want a refresher again about how you can figure out how much you can charge on midterm rentals, click this video that's linked up here.